We are going to prune some tomatoes this morning. We are in the hoop house, our tomato hoop house, and the weather's been really nice the last couple of days. And really, I should say the atmosphere has been really nice. We talk a lot about atmosphere and growing conditions, and so when the atmosphere gets like this, and we get a little overcast and all that, plants grow. Plants plants grow, and so we're going to be doing a little pruning here. Nothing too crazy, but most of these plants we've kept up with pretty good. Not to say that they're perfect, but we've done our best to try to keep up with them. This one had a sucker from the roots there. They'll do that, especially in these pots. They'll do it quite a bit. Um, but yeah, greenhouse has been doing pretty good in terms of tomatoes. We've picked a few. Um, really wasn't expecting to pick some this early as we have been, but it's been going pretty good. So what I like about when we prune too, it's the perfect opportunity. What's up, Leo? To pollinate, and so we can just take them, tap the plants, and shake them. The best way to pollinate tomatoes is just by shaking the plant. Once I'm done pruning, then I'll come back through and we will tie them up. So we got a little behind on some other stuff this week. Normally these wouldn't look like this. I keep up with them. If you've ever grown tomatoes, they're pretty fast growers. So they're a little crazy right now, but that's okay. Sometimes a little crazy is good. So there's definitely people who don't prune their tomatoes, and I think that's fine. I choose to prune because of the way that we grow them. We grow them in the greenhouse, and I think that it definitely, like, you don't want them out of control in the greenhouse. So I just think it's better to keep them manageable, if you will. And then when I find a really good example of one, I'm gonna get close to show y'all kind of what we're doing here. In fact, I think I'm gonna come over here because a lot of these are younger over here, and I can show y'all exactly what we're doing and the best way to prune these guys in a greenhouse. And so here's a really good example of a good healthy tomato plant here. So what if you look right here, this is a sucker. Now, in this specific scenario, we could actually pick one, right? This sucker I let grow too long, and so it's pretty big. It's even got a few blooms sitting on the top, but I already have a really strong main leader here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to prune that sucker right there. And it's the sucker because it's growing out of what I call the armpit, right? You have your main stem here, your main leader, and then you have your leaf here. We're going to take that out. We also have some stuff growing here off the base, which is pretty common with these, especially when you continuously heavily prune them. Pretty common. We don't want to prune these leaves unless they have diseases on them. We really don't want to prune them. The plant is relying on these leaves as their solar panels right now. And then in this case, I'll take our horticulture tape like I got here, and I'll tie it. And they make a little tool that'll apply this horticulture tape for you as well. But I prefer tying it. We had some of those guns before, and they just always end up breaking. And so that's a nice example there of a tomato. Welcome in, everybody. Thanks for coming in. And so we're going to do another one as well. Remember, if you're pruning greenhouse tomatoes, it's always good to make them dance. Okay, that's how they get pollinated. So we want to go through right here and kind of shake them a little bit, any chance we can. Really important. Let's do another one with y'all here. This one This one is a good example of some problem solving skills needed because we have lots of growth towards the bottom here, and not as much to prune off the top, which means we haven't kept up with this plant. And so what we'll do is we're definitely going to take this guy out. It's a sucker. It's growing in the armpit of the plant. A lot of people are hesitant because it has blooms, but it's going to grow out in your walkway. You know, you're going to brush against it, probably knock the fruit off anyways. And so you can't always worry about, oh, there's blooms there. I have to keep it. You can't always worry about that. And then we're going to throw a tie here. And I can actually see these blooms shaking as I tie this up. So that's good. We like to see that. It's very good. We'll give it a little shake here. Actually, I missed a sucker on the other side too. And then that's a really good example of a nice plant there. Welcome into the live, y'all. This is just a live, unscripted tomato pruning class for you. Chicken on Biscuits asks, what do you think about bending tomatoes down to root more? I think that's fine. Yeah, I think any way that you can build a stronger root system, tomatoes are really good at forming what's called adventitious roots. And so anywhere, any part of this tomato plant that touches wet soil will, or even just wet environment, a cup of water will root. And so that is a good little tip there. You could take different parts of this that we pruned off, stick it in a cup of water. It's going to build a root system, and then you can plant it. So it's free plants that you don't have to start from seeds. So pretty good.